I just wanna bim 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 bim. I just wanna know if you make me keep it on the low, baby. I just wanna know if you make me keep it on the low, baby. Okay, so you can hear me now. I'm gonna fix my stream because it's pretty fucked up. You're hearing a lot more than you're probably able to. But I wanted to get this in my head and out there in the world before I go ahead and do either another live stream on something else or continue to do the housework that I've been trying to get done. When a company tries to use the psychology of the human mind to choose or help steer your choices in a way, if they do that for the intent of personal gain rather with the intent to serve you better, then they are ultimately hindering you, the consumer, and helping themselves to whatever is the unfair profit. Now, if they're doing it purely because they need to make sure that the business stays afloat, because it is an actual higher good cause business and finances are rough, you should not commit to doing evil ever. And that's what we should choose if we really want to be anything decent as a species. So I know it's hard to get there, and we're not gonna be the generation to acquit being evil totally as a species, but if we can push toward the direction of teaching ourselves to be of a higher being, intellectually speaking, then we ultimately would see that a lot of all of what people do to each other for financial gain is done on such a mass web and scale that it ultimately just sacrifices the individual for the superior predator versus prey diabolical mindset people sometimes have and give in to the preservation of, whether they like it or not. I think ultimately the best move is to try to help each other survive, try to find better methods of making that happen, and trying to find the beautiful things in life, what is beautiful to do, and preserving those, like what cultures do and what thousands of years of humanity have done. We need to now pursue a more defined understanding of what that is while keeping variability and individuality and as many of the possibilities on the table as good and feasible for the human mindset for growth and for evolution and inspiration, justification. Things in real world that will have real value will ultimately matter much more than anything we've done. And I'm seeing a generation that, like me, and like in about an hour from now, is going to be playing a video game. And so I'm hypocritical in speaking the way I'm speaking, but I'm also alone. People say I'm too in my head. I just see people for problems they have, not who they are, for the problems they have. I'd rather focus on birth and not death if I could. I feel like it's just part of me. I just wanted to say this because we allow so many people to get away with so many things because they just seem too far away to touch. And that's not the case. We've made systems of communication, we've made pathways of acceleration for many individuals, some of which don't deserve it. And in that manner, we have grown a society of people who do not understand what it means to take care, to hospitalize, to be safe with one another, to protect one another, those things. We seem to have gotten so lost in what they want as medias and outlets to tell us. They want to tell us things. It used to be journalism, but now they just want to tell us things. And that's the problem. Journalism is, here's a problem, let's as a people identify it and solve it. That is journalism. But what it is now is, here's a problem, look at the problem, wow, this is amazing, let's get all the clicks that we can from this problem, look at the problem, look at the problem, see this problem, look at this, look at what they're doing for this, oh, look at the solution they made, look at how this will be a problem in this way, look at how this will be a problem in that way. And I mean, that is giving the information out there. And so there is a way of that being true, but to make it appeal more than one other bit of information is to remove the individual choice of the user to pick the chosen information that they actually are trying to learn. And it has created a systematic ADHD which could be evolved to be something of a good and actually just nature, but the cause of creating it was entirely human. We evolved ourselves through stupidity, through our own stupidity with these devices as a species, not on our own, and that's okay. I mean, I understand and I get it. Everyone's oppressed by the nature of their lives, and no one knows until they know, and then they can't unknow. And some people will choose when they've known what is wrong to continue to do it because it is either above them somehow, and I get it. I'm not going to judge it. Or they don't know how. Not really the same thing. Some people can figure it out on their own. Some people can go with God and figure it out for some things, but everybody needs God in some ways. Everybody needs to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel that says, if you do well and take care of others, you will be taken care of. And to do that alone, it's not who we are. Not unless we need to be. But it shouldn't be every day. And I have the ones I love and I'm happy for them. But we as a family are alone. We don't see like-mindedness, we see snakes in grass, and we don't intend because some snakes aren't even there, but they've been made to be perceived to be there. And that's the defense mechanism of the human mind that goes to our entire development as a species. So it makes sense. It's a primordial instinct. We are evil by nature. But it is those of us who choose not to be that can come together. And I'm trying to choose. It's hard to choose every second of every day when you've been shown a life of different choices every 10 seconds. Time is accelerated, and you are more intelligent for it. In a lot of ways. Unless you got caught up in the mindlessness of losing hours and hours and hours to it. that you didn't even realize you weren't paying attention to. You were just thinking in your head while you were scrolling. That's not learning. That's mindlessness. That's where you go into yourself. And I mean, there is self-reflection there, but there is no meditation there because you are distracted. Your eyes are still working. So your brain has to allocate power for it. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's also a primordial instinct that's helped us survive as people. But it could be done in far better forms and with far better means, with far better teaching justifications than as we currently do. If we don't teach our kids properly, and they are raised to be hellish monsters, what do you think they'll treat us like? When we grow old? It's not just we as individuals anymore. We've got to come together in some way. Just as I am stranded in my own life, as are other individuals. I'm gonna go. I just want to say something. Um, it's been fun. And talk later. Chill. I might be doing Marvel Rivals, but I'm gonna do some housework first. Gonna try to take care of things. Um, Deuce.